Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. So, I'm a little bit of a tired Vicky Marie tonight. Been a long day with classes, etc. But I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit more about this case of Hannah. Because it's really mysterious and it's very tragic, and it's getting more and more mysterious all the time. This really is a complete mystery. What has happened to Hannah? And of course, the other thing that has happened is her father, her dad, right in the middle of looking for Hannah. One minute, he was out there, looking for her, searching for her, giving out posters, etc. And then he took his own life. He, threw himself off a multi-story car park before he knows what's happened to his daughter. Or did he find out what happened to his daughter? Is that why he did it? It's just a complete sort of mind FUCK, this case. And, it's not our family. I don't know Hannah. Hannah's not someone that I knew. So it must be awful for her remaining family or aunties that are looking for her. Not quite sure where her mum is. I don't know really that much about Hannah's background. Need to sort of look into that sort of, where is her mum? Is her mum still alive? Were her mum and dad separated? Anyway, we're going to look into a bit of a timeline. We're going to look at some videos. And what we're mainly going to look at is these two mysterious payments that apparently Hannah made on Venmo, which I don't know anything about. I don't know if any of you do. But it seems to be like an app where you can pay money to someone, a bit like PayPal, I suppose, or that kind of app. And there's bit where two mysterious payments went out. And then now that's got even more mysterious, because one of the guys who's supposed to have, she's supposed to have made one of those payments to, he's appeared on another YouTube channel on JLR Investigates and had an interview and said that it wasn't him, that he was scammed. So we're going to have a look at that as well, look at a bit of that. So there's a lot to get through. But I don't know if you'll feel, Riley's, stop it, you're knocking my tea over. I don't know if you'll feel that you know any more by the end of this video, because it's one of them that the more you go into it, the more mysterious it gets. And ultimately, in the middle of all of it, what remains is that Hannah has not been found. Hannah is still missing. Now, this is a bit worrying, because unless Hannah's been actually kidnapped, or she's in, even if she's gone off voluntarily, surely she's watched the news and seen all the clamour about what's happened to her. And surely by now she'll have seen what has happened to her dad, etc. So it's a real, but she's not appeared. So why is that? Has somebody taken her? Is she being held against her will? Has foul play occurred? Maybe she's just not capable of responding now. It's a real mystery, isn't it? The whole case is a mystery. Anyway, I'm just going to say hello to everybody first. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Laurie. Hi, David. Hi, Lorna. Hi, Annie. Nice to see you all. Hi, Heather. I just hope I don't want to miss anyone. You're all chatting between yourselves. Well, who knows, David? God knows what the answer is in this case. So let's just have a little recap. I think we'll watch this video on News Nation, which will just give us a little recap of what's actually happened. Because to be honest, I'm very confused with even the timeline. You know, what of the order in things in which things happened, and there has been some CCTV of her, so we know that, you know, we know some places that she definitely was. And then this thing about a father killing himself, that I find that really bizarre, because to me, you know, as long as you knew he was there, you know, searching for his daughter, he was begging for information on her. And then to do that before you even know what's happened to her, if he didn't know what had happened to her, unless somebody had been in touch with him or whatever that we don't know about, why would he take his life? Because she might need him, you know. So that's a real mystery. But, you know, some people have sort of speculated about whether he was pushed or, you know, is it connected with the case? But I think from what I've been reading, though nobody's, oh, and this is the other thing, the police have said nothing. The police are like stunned. The police are saying absolutely nothing. So we don't really have much official information, you know, no press conference, no real proper information about exactly what's happened. Though from what I've read, there seems to be this inference, but again, it's an inference, that he may have actually, you know, been on CCTV when he did what he did. So you know, they're not even considering that anybody else might have been involved, because I think there is some video of it. But I don't know that for certain, to be honest. Hi, Fluffy. You know, again, there's not much that we know for certain, is there? All we do know for certain is that poor guy, her dad, he's left this earth before he knew what had happened to his daughter. Anyway, let's have a look at this News Nation clip, just to give us a background, because there may be some of you that don't know. I mean, Hannah disappeared round about November the 8th. So not that long ago. Riley, stop it. Where are we now? 26, isn't it? So yeah, she's been missing a couple of weeks. Let's see. You know, Riley wants to photobomb. You know what he's like. Yeah. You can just see his nose. But they can see you. They can see you. I know you like to do a little photobombing, don't you? Yeah. We can. Come on. Are you coming up here? Can't see it very well. There's her change the screen. Anyway, never mind, because I don't really. Who's that? There you go. You've been on screen now. Let's have a look at this video. Thank God for animals.
Is Hannah Kobayashi, a 30-year-old woman from Hawaii who went missing 15 days ago on her way to visiting her aunt in New York. Here's what we know. It was on Friday, November 8th, Hannah flew from Maui to Los Angeles and missed her connecting flight to New York. Saturday, November 9th, Hannah was seen at the Grove Shopping Mall. It's a popular mall in downtown LA, where she went to a bookstore to charge her phone. Sunday, November 10th, Hannah went back to the Grove and was seen in the background of a video attending a LeBron James event. Then on Monday, the 11th, Hannah went back to the airport. At some point, she sent some very concerning texts. She was saying that she was scared and had been tricked, quote, into giving away all my funds.
Yeah, then there was these strange texts. I got tricked pretty much into giving away all my funds for someone I thought I loved. Very strange. And all the family said they didn't feel like these were the way Hannah sends texts, because she normally uses a lot of emojis.
Funds for someone I thought I loved. That same night, Hannah was reportedly seen leaving the airport with an unidentified person. But later that night, surveillance video, which has not been released, shows Hannah at a train station, also with an unidentified person. I spoke to Hannah's aunt a few days ago about the video. Take a listen.
There's no reason that Hannah would go there unless she was misled, unless she was forced to, or unfortunately now we're thinking unless she was drugged. But it made us extremely alarmed to the point where
unless she was drugged, she said. Now, I think that this interview would have been before Hannah's father did what he did. So this is Hannah's aunt. I'll say the mother's never, I haven't seen anything about the mother. So I'm going to actually, while you listen to this video, let me see if I can find out about her mum.
We started sounding the alarm as loud as we could.
What, after seeing the video, you mean?
Yes.
It's already such a sad situation, and now there's another twist to the story. Hannah's father, Ryan, who had gone to LA to search for his daughter, has taken his life. He was actually supposed to be on with me too, and was feeling emotional, and now we find out that he has committed suicide. And now here to help us make some sense of all of this.
Oh, he had already before this. How odd. This just strikes me as so odd. Now, maybe the thing is, maybe he was already, having thoughts that way, and this has just tipped him over the edge. There's many reasons, that he may have done it, I suppose, but it still just doesn't sit right with me that he would do it before he knows what's happened to Hannah. So before he knows anything terrible has happened to her, or before he maybe she would be, as I say, needing him. You just couldn't do it, could you? Even if you felt like doing it, surely you couldn't do it until you knew your daughter was okay. But I don't know. So anyway, I found a little something about a mum. So Hannah Kobayashi's mum received a chilling 2-word text from her missing daughter's phone. So what did it say? Hang on, let me go through this. This is on the Sun, the US Sun. So Brandy Yee, who apparently is her mum, she must be in Hawaii, I presume. She messaged her daughter to ask if she had reached New York, to which the reply was, "Not yet." So that's all I can find so far about a mum. Maybe a mum is in Hawaii then. And then her sister said she received... Anyway, we'll read that article in a moment. Let's listen to this first.
This is former FBI agent, News Nation law and justice contributor Jennifer Coffendorfer, and Dog, the bounty hunter, who actually knows Hannah. It's good to see both of you. Jennifer, I want to start with you. You heard the aunt.
What?
She told me that they were disturbed by the surveillance.
What? So he says that Dog, the bounty hunter, actually knows Hannah. She's a photographer. Oh my God. So Dog, the bounty hunter, who actually knows Hannah. I feel like I'm falling into that Twilight world again.
Video. The police showed the family surveillance video, but they haven't made the video public. But she didn't want to go into detail. She didn't want to interfere with the investigation. What do you think is going on here? What do you think that video might show?
Well, when you look at that timeline, there was always communication with the family. Her phone was always working. She actually took special steps to charge it to make sure it was working. But then on the 11th, the same time she's seen with this individual who's a stranger, and after some very cryptic messages came in, even mentioning deep state hackers, all of a sudden she's missing. I think that piece of surveillance is critical, and I think she could be in the hands of a stranger taking advantage of her and the situation.
And Dog, you actually knew Hannah, which I kind of wondered about because you're from Hawaii. Hannah's from Hawaii. I know you've got a lot of connections there. What do you know about her?
Well, it wasn't me actually that knew. It was my daughter Cecily, and Hannah had spent the night 3 or 4 times with us in Oahu, in Honolulu, and then Hannah, moved on to Maui. But I agree with Jennifer 100%. You know, we used to teach our real children there. We used to say stranger danger. And now it's getting, you know, into, you know, Hannah's 31 years old. All women beware. There are things happening, especially in California.
Oh.
There are things happening that are unbelievable. And, you know, I think she was snatched. And
Don't go to California. That seems to be the message. So he's saying she thinks because there are wild, well, I say they're wild speculations about what's happened here, but something's happened. There's talk about cults. There's talk about people trafficking. There's talk about all sorts of things that might have happened to Hannah. But something has happened to her because this girl is somewhere. She's not, you know, been beamed up. She's not disappeared into thin air. Where is this girl? And also the other big mystery is, why did her dad do what he did? This, you know, it's a very, very mysterious case.
And one thing about it, I hope to God that she's still alive.
Yeah, I mean, we all do. Jennifer, just thinking the police haven't really said much. Dog says maybe she was snatched. You would think if that was the case, there would be press conferences. There would be flyers everywhere. They would be out every day saying, this is the description of who we think took her. We're not hearing much from police, Jennifer.
Well, the reason we're not hearing from them is because there is going to be video surveillance all over that airport, all over that subway station, all over these venues where she's been. So they're pouring all over that. Oftentimes when you see law enforcement reach out, it's because they don't have any more clues to go with. Law enforcement has a lot they're working with right now.
What do you make, Dog, some of the text messages that the family has said they received where she wrote, got tricked into pretty much giving away all my...
Yeah, deep hackers wiped my identity, stole all of my funds, and have had me on a Mind FUCK since Friday. Well, you know, she couldn't, that's exactly what it all is, isn't it? A Mind FUCK. I just hope she is, like they say, still alive, but I just don't know if she is. Why has she not contacted anyone, unless she's just had her phone? You know, the sort of best case scenario really is that she's been kidnapped, isn't it? Or, you know, and they've taken her phone off her. Better that than she's dead. But just hopefully that she will get recovered.
Funds, deep hackers wiped my identity, stole all my funds, and have had me on a Mind F since Friday. Do you think was drugged in that? I mean, why would she be is it her sending it, do you think?
Well, Cecily, my daughter, who do her very good, there was no way. She might have smoked, which in Hawaii, weed is called pakalolo. She might have smoked some pakalolo as she got older, but she was very, very against drugs. And the text messages, again, Cecily said it doesn't sound like her. And it sounds like, you know, I know a lot of ladies that join these dating places and then send money to the guy, and then he's not real. So I don't think that it was that. I think the text messages was not Hannah.
Look, I think when somebody's family and friends start saying that the text messages are not whoever it is, be it, remember Anna Knežević, we've seen this happen in so many cases. It's so easy once you've got someone's phone to just send texts out, isn't it? But what's more difficult is to make them sound like they come from the actual person, because everyone has their way of sending texts. So now Dwayne, Dog the Bounty Hunter, saying his daughter knew her very well. And she said they're not like her text. Her family has said they're not like her text. So I think we can assume that they were not from her. So who sent them?
What do you make of the text, Jen?
Well, I agree. And I agree because of this. The family says they know her vernacular. Remember, in cases like Anna Knežević, or, of course, Gabby Petito, where the family pointed out straight away,
Can I, Jennifer just mentioned Anna Knežević. I haven't watched this before, so I didn't. Well, I mentioned it yesterday, didn't I? Yeah, and of course, Gabby Petito, Brian sent a text, didn't he? Brian Laundrie. I mean, it's happened so many times.
Listen, this does not sound like anything that she would write. And that's what the family is saying here. It's not going with how she texts or her vernacular.
And what do you make, Jennifer? I mean, it's so tragic. I couldn't really believe it, but that the dad went to LA to help find her and then took his own life. I mean, how do you process that?
This is so surreal. But I just wanted to say, I can see that Lorna's asking about Dog the Bounty Hunter. Now, Dog, he's famous because he had a TV series where he is a bounty hunter. You know, he goes and tracks down criminals and brings them back to that have broke their bond or whatever. That's what he does, or that's what he did for a living. I mean, I don't know if he still does that, but he gets involved in a lot of high profile cases, and he's one of those people. He's quite divisive. Some people say he's great, and he'll find out what's happened, and other people say he's just exploiting it for his own personal publicity, and everybody will have their own view on that. But he's involved at the moment in the Sebastian Rogers case, the autistic boy, the 15-year-old. He's looking into that, and he's put reward up. That reward for Sebastian Rogers, it was non-existent not that long ago. There was no reward for him. It's now at $185,000 for the reward for finding out what's happened to him. He also involved himself in the Gabby Petito case. He went round to Brian Laundrie's parents' house and knocked on the door. They didn't answer. But yeah, so he does get involved in high profile cases, and probably there is a little bit of the publicity thing in him because he's a larger than life character. He's a TV star, but he does do this, tracking down people is something that he's done. He was wrong about Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie. In that case, he was wrong, all his theories about that. But he's probably, you don't, whether he'll be right. But it's odd that his daughter actually knew Hannah. That's a coincidence.
Well, he searched for 13 days, long and hard. And I can't imagine the grief that would overcome a father in this way. And so it seems to me that the motive would have been very clear, at least from his eyes, absolute despair and frustration. And you add on to that, Brian, and the family pointed this out. People not believing the family, people in social media actually going after the family, poo-pooing what they had to say, saying, oh, she's really not.
Yeah. That's the other thing. So they've had a lot of hate, like we've seen with families, with Jay Slater's family. In other cases, we've seen they've had so much hate on social media, etc., which I'm not really sure why that is. Maybe he couldn't cope with that. I don't know. But he looks on that photo, he does look despairing, doesn't he? Absolutely despairing. But again, just seems strange to me that even if I wanted to do that, I couldn't do it until I knew what had happened to my child. So it does seem strange. But do you know what? We can't put ourselves in the mind of people who are on the edge like that. If he was on the edge and we're not at this moment in time, we can't put ourselves in their mind. We can't think like they do because we're not in his position. We're not walking in his shoes. So although it seems totally incredible that he did that, he did it, that's for sure. And the reasons why he did it, he may have left a note. We don't know, do we? Yet nobody's said anything about a note. But yeah, it's just turned a baffling case into an even more baffling case.
Not missing. She's just on some sort of venture or something like that. It was awful. And the family said, please don't talk like this. We're at a very a vulnerable state. And then look what happened.
Do you think they're going to find her, dog? I mean, how do you think this is going to play out?
Well, I think they are going to find her. We have a new administration coming in, and there's going to be a lot of police officers, defunding the police, especially in California. I'm doing a thing later this week where I'm talking to the cops, and don't worry, things are going to get better. They don't even want to pull over traffic tickets, because if they put the guy in jail, they're out in 15 minutes. So the police officers' morale is very low. Again, after the new administration takes over, it's going to, I think, yes, we're going to find her. They're going to find her alive.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red.
So, according to Dog, everything's going to get better when the new administration comes in. Well, we'll see. Let's hope so. Okay. So, yeah, going back to this article that I just looked at that tells you a bit about a mum. So, yeah, Hannah Kobayashi's mum received a chilling 2-word text from her missing daughter's phone as mystery over the disappearance deepens. Now, this was the last, well, I can't say this is the last CCTV image of Hannah. This is the last one that the police have released so far. The police tend to drip feed CCTV images, don't they? There is an image of her with the man that they're trying to find, but they haven't released that. So that CCTV image of her with this man, they haven't released that CCTV, which is strange because you'd think they'd want to know who he was, but they probably don't want to alert him, maybe. They don't want to warn him. Who knows? Thing is, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes in this investigation. I'm sure they're doing quite a lot. The police, normally when you think they're not doing much, then suddenly something happens. But let's just have a look at this video. Real mystery.
Disfruta de tu menuquín ahorro desde 3,49. Larga vida al rey.
Another piece of evidence, this short YouTube video shows Kobayashi outside of an event in Los Angeles on Saturday. The last pin location the family has on her phone shows her back at LAX on Monday, and she sent a text message to a friend reading, "I got tricked pretty much into giving away all my funds for someone I thought I loved." And she said in another that she was scared.
Yeah, it's been really scary, she said.
Con la nueva
So, yeah, it's worrying, isn't it? So the mum of missing traveller Hannah Kobayashi said she received a text from her daughter's phone when she grew concerned about her whereabouts. So she jetted out of Maui on November the 8th, as she's supposed to be going on this sort of, it was something on her bucket list, it was a big trip she wanted to do. So she was about to embark on a trip to New York, but she hasn't yet reached the Empire State. In this picture of her at the airport, she looks to me that she's meeting someone. See the look on her face? Just looked to me like she was smiling and, maybe greeting someone. And that's just an impression I got there, but, I don't know that that's for, true. But that's when she was at Los Angeles airport. So she was supposed to head to New York, but she didn't make her connecting flight. She flew to Los Angeles and surveillance footage showed her inside the airport, but she failed to make the connection. And when Brandy Yee messaged her daughter to ask if she had reached New York, she replied, "Not yet." And it was only one of the messages that was apparently sent from Hannah's phone. So that other message was that one we just looked at. A follow-up message sent from Hannah's phone said she had been on the streets. And Hannah's sister, Sydney, said she received strange texts from her sibling. It was just really weird texts, Sydney told Hawaii News Now. Sydney raised the theory that someone could be using Hannah's phone, and other messages purportedly sent by Hannah claimed that she'd been hacked, and she claimed her identity had been stripped and she couldn't fly. And a pal asked how Hannah could travel from Maui to Los Angeles, to which she replied, "Some weird shit, babe." And she also claimed she couldn't go to the cops for help. You know, it does feel like it's somebody else sending these messages, doesn't it? So this is the timeline. So Friday, November the 8th, she leaves her home in Maui and arrives in Los Angeles. She has 42 minutes to make her flight to New York City at 11 p.m. Saturday, November the 9th, Hannah is meant to land at JFK Airport in New York City at 7, but she never arrives. She's instead seen at an event at the Grove in Los Angeles, about an hour away from the airport. Now, that was definitely her, so that she was alive then. On Sunday, she sends the message saying she's scared and worried about someone trying to steal her money and identity. And on Monday, her phone puts her back at the airport. She posts a picture on her Instagram account and she turns her phone off. And on Wednesday, November the 13th, her family file a missing persons report. And on Thursday, November the 14th, oh no, that's when the YouTube video is posted at the Grove. So she was alive then. Oh no, that's when the video was posted. Right, okay. That's how they know she was there on the Saturday. Right, so that video was posted on the 14th on YouTube, but it was a video from the Saturday. So the last time they've actually got a photo of her to show that she's alive, because they've got the text afterwards, but the last time you can say that she definitely was alive because there was a photo of her is on the Saturday, November the 9th. And since after that, it was just messages. So she was supposed to arrive at JFK Airport at around 7 a.m, but she never showed. She'd even planned out an itinerary of what she intended to do. She'd jotted down potential options for what to do on her first day, such as attending the Brooklyn Folk Festival or watching DJ Honey Dion at the Brooklyn Storehouse. And she set aside time on the morning of November the 10th to complete her bucket list activities, and the next day she planned to see her aunt. So another thing that she'd said to her aunt, on November the 11th, she reportedly messaged her aunt, who said she was supposed to meet in New York, that she had finished a very intense spiritual awakening. She said, "I'm charging my phone and heading back to the airport to get to New York City. I might need some help in getting there. It's a long story." And then she claimed she would keep her aunt updated. But she never, that was it. Very odd, isn't it? Now, let's go and have a look. Let's have a look now at these payments that she made. Let's see. You're all okay in chat? Hi, Rose Petal. Yeah. Right, the police didn't release that video. Yeah, so the police have not The police have not released anything, have they? That was somebody else that released that. Okay. So let's have a look at the payments that she made, because these are important, I think. Oh, there she is, bless her. Just here, to me, every time I see this photo, she looks like she was meeting someone. She looks like she's smiling at someone, something, I don't know. So yet another eerie twist has emerged in the search for Hannah, the 31-year-old who disappeared after missing a connecting flight at the LAX earlier this month. So her aunt, Larry Pigeon, revealed on Tuesday night that cops are investigating a pair of strange Venmo payments she made on November the 9th, the same day she was scheduled to arrive in New York for a bucket list trip and photography assignment. These two payments for unknown amounts was sent to a Jonathan Taylor and a Veronica Almendarez within an hour of each other, her account shows. Her payment to Veronica Almendarez included a note with a bow and arrow emoji for her payment, because remember her family said she used a lot of emojis, and that's why those messages that they got were unusual, because there were no emojis. So that one had a bow and arrow emoji, and her payment to Taylor, so she's put an emoji on that. Is that somebody she knew then? To me, that would say, because when she sent her payment to Taylor, who we're going to have a look at this guy in a minute, he apparently, it wasn't to him. He anyway, oh God, it gets worse. This, don't think this is as mysterious as it gets even more mysterious. So her payment to Taylor, she just labeled reading. So like it was a card reader. And here they are. So Hannah Kobayashi, gosh, I'll always pronounce that wrong, won't I? Paid Jonathan Taylor, and then it doesn't say the amount, reading. And it's got 11 likes on it. And then the next one, Hannah Kobayashi paid Veronica Almendarez. I'm sure the police are looking into these, with this bow and arrow emoji. Again, we don't know the amount. And that's got 9 likes. So the US Sun reported that a source said the payments were for a tarot card reading, which is something that spiritual Hannah was supposedly into. Internet sleuths tracked down a TikTok account that's believed to belong to Taylor and flooded it with comments, but it's since gone private. So what was this? Jonathan Taylor. So prior to those two payments, Kobayashi had only made public payments on the money sending platform on 4 other occasions this year. So she's not a regular user of it. But having said that, that's 6 payments in a year. So, there's quite a few, really, if you think about it. She has no prior payment history with either Taylor or Almendarez. So what were those payments for? So no suspects have been named in her disappearance. Her aunties told the Sun that the family is aware of the payments, and it's all part of the police's probe investigation into Hannah. And the LAPD has not publicly addressed Hannah's Venmo account and has remained largely mum about its search in general. Well, do you know what? The Los Angeles police, they're very tight-lipped about everything. There's been a few cases in Los Angeles that I've tried to looked at. They don't release any information. And something that I've only just found out recently is that some of you who've been, who've been watching my channel regularly, remember with Rachel Marin, the mum of 5 that was killed in Maryland, the Victor Martinez, the one who was arrested for her murder, he had, we knew that remember we watched the video of him coming out of that house in Los Angeles, but it was kept very secret, wasn't it, about what exactly had happened in that house. Well, I now find out that just from an article that I was reading by accident, like you do when you're reading about something else, he actually RAPD'd a mother and her daughter in that house. When he left that house in Los Angeles, he just RAPD'd a mother and her daughter. And I've only literally, how long have I been covering that Rachel Marin case? And I've only just discovered that. So the LAPD, they are very tight-lipped in general. Because remember, we used to watch the sheriff, my sheriff, Jeff, in Maryland, talking about the case while they were looking for Victor. And he always was very cagey about what he said about Los Angeles, because he said that they were dealing with that and that was their jurisdiction. And they first of all, they just said, it was a home invasion. They described it as at first. Then they did say that there was an assault, but they never went into any details. What was the next? And that, of course, that's where he left his cap with the DNA, wasn't it? Anyway, he actually, all that Jeff said, the sheriff, was that that whatever had happened there, it could easily have turned into what happened to Rachel, because Rachel was RAPD'd, but she was murdered as well. And he just said, luckily somebody disturbed them. We still don't know the full details. Somebody disturbed them, and of course he left the house. We saw him leaving the house. It just RAPD'd 2 women. Well, a woman and a girl, a child, a female child. I don't know exactly how old she was. But I've only just the point I'm trying to make is I'm only just finding that out. So the LAPD, they are tight-lipped, very. So probably more than other police forces, I think. So this is, it says here, this is the last sighting of her. Wasn't she seen with a man? I thought she'd been seen with a man. Let's have a look. Anyway. So basically what we know is that we don't know much. That's what we know. Hi, Marianne. Yeah. Yeah, Annie, do you see what I'm saying? She did look like she was just about to say hello to someone. I've seen that before with I felt that before with Andrew Gosden, the Andrew Gosden case, that picture of him. Last picture of him coming out of the train station, to me looked like he was looking for someone, looking to somebody to meet. So I think he was meeting someone there, Andrew Gosden. But anyway, so if just when you think if it can't get any more crazy or surreal, JLR from JLR Investigates, a lot of you will know that channel. It's a big channel. We've followed JLR on this channel for a while. We followed him since that escapee, wasn't it? Escapee, the prison, Daniel Cavalcanti, I think his name was. And when he escaped from prison and JLR went off, boots on the ground, didn't he, looking for him? and we used to follow his streams and everything. And he's you know, when he gets involved in cases, he really do. I do like his true crime stuff. I don't like his, you know, he does all these things about immigrants and things. I don't like that really, but his true crime stuff is always good. He always gets to the bottom of everything. And he has tracked down this Jonathan Taylor, who Hannah made the Venmo payment to, and he's had an interview with him, which is on his channels, which we're going to look at. I can't play the whole thing because I don't know how. I don't know how he feels about copyright. I've asked him, but I mean, when with the Daniel Cavalcanti case, he had a smaller channel then, and I remember asking him if I could use his streams, and it was no problem. But recently, I sent him an email to ask if I could use another stream or a message. He just didn't answer. He didn't say no, but he didn't say yes either. But you know, I'm always cautious to make sure I've got something from people to confirm that it's okay to use their video. So I'm going to show a bit of it, but you know, go over to JLR's channel and watch it on there and subscribe on there. I'm subscribed. I've been subscribed for a while, so I'm hoping you won't, you know, get the ump about it. But I just wanted to show you this because this is the Jonathan Taylor, supposedly, that Venmo payment went out, that we don't know how much it was, but it was said it was from a reading. He says it's nothing to do with him, that he's been scammed by some African guy. Let's have a look. And this guy, he is disabled. I think he had an accident and he's paralyzed, because you see that he's sort of lying down as he's doing this interview with JLR. So it just gets even more mysterious.
Involved in any way? Oh, no. You never met or ever talked to Hannah ever? Never. So, you know, there was sharing screenshots or some things that you were saying that you were hacked by this African guy. Yeah. So when were you hacked? What exactly, when do you know you were hacked? When I started putting pieces together.
So he says he was hacked. So Fluffy Bunny there just said it was for $25. I don't know. I haven't seen that anywhere. But thanks for that information. And so not a lot of money then, really, is it, for a reading? It sounds like a tarot card reading, or probably it's about the right amount of money, is it? $25 for a tarot card reading, maybe you'd pay €30 or whatever in Spain for that, or which is about $25 probably, or similar amount. Hi, Julie. Sorry to hear you've got no water. Oh, dear. Have you paid your bill? You know, just make sure you've paid your bill. You know what it's like in Spain. You can lose track of bills because, you know, they don't tell you until they cut you off that you owe them anything. Next thing, you're cut off. So, anyway, I hope you get it sorted.
About Hannah missing. What, how did you find out Hannah was missing? When I started getting all these messages on TikTok saying, "Where's Hannah?" I was just like, "Who the hell is this Hannah chick? I never met her. I don't know anything about her."
So as I say, you can go onto JLR's channel to watch the whole interview. I found it quite difficult to watch because this guy, he obviously is, well, unless he's putting it on, you know, who knows, but he's obviously is disabled. He has problems thinking about what he's going to say. And then some people in the chat there, they were saying, oh, he's just putting it on, but I don't think he is. But you know, it's just another mystery, a mystery of mysteries. And he says some African guy hacked into his account. It's nothing to do with him, this $25. Well, or if that's the amount that Fluffy says it is, you know, so it's just another chink in the mystery, isn't it? Just another layer to this mystery.
And they were reaching out to you because of the Venmo, seeing the Venmo transfer of money.
So, all right, on November 9th, saying still there.
Yeah, to me, like when he's trying to talk and he's struggling to get his words out, I think he's genuine. So, you know, I don't know what to say, honestly. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because I just don't know what to say about this case. So mysterious. So, because it's one mystery after another. So it's not only, it's big enough mystery that Hannah's disappeared and nobody knows where she is. The text, you know, the mysterious text. Then you've got the mysterious payments. And then you've got the fact that a father has jumped off a multi-story car park. You know, so it's just one layer of mystery after another, isn't it? Julie, it's so awful that you haven't got water, but do you know what? At least it's not the summer. At least it's not the summer. Because imagine that. Oh, my God. You know, it's hard to go without water at any time of year. Of course it is. But probably a little bit worse in the summer. I don't know. You have to get to the supermarket, get some baby wipes. Because it doesn't really happen where I live now. Not with the water. The electric goes off regular. But where I used to live, that water went off for 2 weeks once in the summer. I found out baby wipes are brilliant. So you just have to clean yourself every day with baby wipes. You know, sort of beg a shower from someone like one of your friends or whatever who's not in your area and has got water. But yeah, I'd get your stocking of baby wipes. We'll watch one more little bit of this and then I'm going to come off it because I do find it difficult to watch this guy. I feel for him. And he must be thinking, what the hell is, like he said, what the hell is going on? This poor guy is disabled, he's paralyzed. And he's got all these people leaving comments on his TikTok or whatever it is, asking him, where's Hannah? And he didn't even know who Hannah was. He says, unless he's putting it all on, who knows, but it doesn't come over to me like he is.
Send me your Venmo. My clients wants to send me money. And then it said $20 from mid-order to Venmo and confirm it. And so I have the 25. And so I would send Ancestors bank account for you. You will send it. But he wants to try to do it through Bitcoin.
So basically, to summarize, without us listening to the whole thing, because as I say, I don't know if JLR will mind me showing his video or not, but basically what this guy is saying, he got scammed or hacked by this African guy, and he thinks this African guy has contacted Hannah, and that money went to the African guy, but through way of his Venmo. You know, it sounds complicated to me, but who knows? So whether the African guy is the spiritual guy. I mean, of course, you do get these scammers, don't you, trying to hack into people's accounts. From Africa, though, having said this, normally Nigeria, isn't it? So I doubt if he would have been the guy that was with Hannah at the airport. You know, if these scammers, they normally do it from a distance, don't they? They say they're coming to see you, or, you know, as I think I've mentioned before, I knew someone where it was he was a guy, and it was a woman supposedly that he was in contact with, and they asked him for money to come to Spain from Nigeria. You know, they needed money from the flight. He sent the money for the flight. Unfortunately, he was very vulnerable at the time. He sent the money for the flight, which probably was a lot of money, from Nigeria to Spain. And of course, then he went to the airport to meet the person, and they never turned up. Now, is that something that's happened to Hannah? Has she been sort of catfished? You know, or has somebody said, you know, they're coming to see her and then either not turned up or turned up, or while Hannah was at the airport waiting for one person, did somebody else take advantage of her? You know, because she said, well, if those messages are right, which who knows if they're from her, she said that somebody had tried to take money off her. She had no funds. And then would they have started trying to take money off her family? Yeah, it's a real mystery, isn't it? I mean, couldn't get any more mysterious, really. Could it? You know, couldn't get much more mysterious than it is. Now, there'll be a lot of information that the police will be, you know, they will have more information and more knowledge than we've got. And hopefully sooner or later they will come out with this more information. But this is really where we stand at the moment. And, you know, this guy's done an interview with JLR, but I presume he's been talking to the police as well. You know, he must have been. So some of the theories that have, let me just put Hannah's picture back up. Some of the theories that have been, I'm going to read out some of the crazy theories that have come out. But, you know, I say they're crazy, but as something happened, so one of them might be true. I don't know. But some of the theories that have been mentioned, let's have a look. Yeah. Claims that she's been brainwashed by the Twin Flames cult, a group linked to obsessive relationships and the subject of a Netflix documentary. Others speculated she was blackmailed by hackers or even kidnapped. Some have accused her father of being complicit and further inflaming tensions and distress within the family. So, you know, that may well have been why her father did what he did, if people were accusing him of whatever. So her aunt dismissed the cult theory, explaining that although Hannah followed Twin Flames related accounts on Instagram, she never expressed any interest in the group. And she said that people just want to make the story more dramatic. So Ryan, her father, he travelled to Los Angeles to search for his daughter, and he spent nearly 2 weeks distributing missing person flyers and pleading for help. And he said, "We will do everything we can until we find her. She's a wonderful person who brings joy to so many people." Now, he did refer to her in the past tense, though. We listened to that. He said she was just a fantastic person. So he did refer to her in the past tense, but, you know, that can just be a slip of the tongue, can't it? So anyway, Hannah's aunt describes Ryan as a big giant teddy bear who was sensitive and deeply affected by the thought of his daughter in danger. So And what the family is saying they think has happened is that she was probably abducted while at the airport. Gosh, I mean, says the family remain hopeful but worry that Ryan's death has further fueled conspiracy theories and complicated the search for the truth. Oh, dear me. Let's just have a look what this Twin Flames is, because I've never heard of it. Oh. Right, let's have a look at this. The Twin Flames cult. Oh, you know about it, Kelly? Let's have a look. I've never heard of it, to be honest. The Twin Flame... Twin Flame myth. Emotional manipulation in relationships. Is that what it is? Unveiling the twin flame myth and emotional manipulation in relationships. The twin flame theory posits that souls split into two upon creation, destined to search for their other half across lifetimes. This narrative appeals to our deepest yearnings for connection and completion, suggesting that true love transcends the physical realm. Right, well, we might look into that a bit more deeply in another video, because I've got to go in a minute. So I'm taking my car tomorrow for an ITV, which is the Spanish equivalent of an MOT. And I made the foolish decision to book it in for 7 o'clock in the morning because I just wanted to get it over with. But I'm thinking about it now and I'm thinking, why did I do that? I've got to get up then at 5:30 or something. Anyway, but yeah, it looks interesting, this twin flame thing. But do you know what? You see, people get very, it's one thing to sort of find this interesting and read about it, but to get obsessed by it is a whole nother thing, isn't it? A whole nother thing. We don't like that. We noticed you're visiting from Spain. Well, they already know too much about me. I don't like it. Hi, Angel. Oh, sorry to hear that. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have a look at it in another video when we're talking about this. Now, hopefully it won't be long before there's some news about Hannah. You know, maybe there'll be some developments in this case. So if you add this on, the bloody twin flames thing, so you've got, you've got the guy who's been hacked, or says he's been hacked, Jonathan Taylor. You've got a poor dad, Ryan, who's, deleted himself, thrown himself off a high-story car park. You've got the fact that Hannah has disappeared, and these strange texts and things. It's just, it's a real, it is one of those literally that you couldn't make up. If you wrote a book about it and put all those things in, people would say, oh no, that can't happen in one situation, truth is always stranger than fiction, isn't it? But I just hope Hannah is alive. You're sort of in a position where you're almost wishing she had been trafficked, because at least that means that she's alive. It's a bit like the Jay Slater case, when in the end, I think, you're almost wishing that he had been kidnapped, because he might be alive somewhere. And then, of course, when, the sad truth comes out of what's happened, that poor family. So imagine going through that. So not only they've lost, she's missing, Hannah is missing. Then Ryan decided to do what he did. There'll be all this speculation rife over the internet. Just an awful situation, isn't it? Awful. Angel, a root canal treatment as well as everything else. It sounds like you've had an interesting day, let's say. Okay, so I'm going because I've got to go and try and get some sleep and get up. And please say a little prayer for me. I hope the car passes the ITV, doesn't need any work doing. Let's hope not. And also, please, let's say big prayers for Hannah, that she she's not. When she's found, let's say when she's found safe and sound, she's got some bad news coming to her about her dad. This is why I don't want, this is just what doesn't make sense to me. But unless, we don't know about Ryan's background, and maybe he was really going through some bad things already in his head, because that won't be nice for Hannah to come back to find out that her dad has died, will it? So just seems strange to me that he did that. But anyway, there you go, he did, and that's it. Hi, Jen Finn. So, sorry, Jen Finn, we're just about finishing, but you can always go back to the beginning. So please don't forget to like. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'll see you really soon in the next video. All take care. Just take so much care. Be vigilant wherever you are, of what's around you. And I'll see you really soon in the next video. Until then, may your God go with you. Thank you.